Well, if all Jehovah's looked like this, maybe I could be persuaded. Anyway, it's going where it belongs, along with all other religion. Oh no, it doesn't want to go in the bin. It's going in the bin. There we go, in the bin. Hello, good boy. Oh. Weird things you see. It's called Mornington Mansions, and all the stained glass is this sunburst design. It's absolutely beautiful. It's such a shame they're in such bad condition. Obviously that one's completely missing. But they are lovely. They're still there in the front door partly at least. And then we're randomly up there, that's Bob's Burgers. Someone's kid's drawn them. How nice is that? These are absolutely massive, these phoenix. There's 4 of them. And then a little one and a little Trachycarpus back there as well. But they're huge. Absolutely massive. And really well kept. Absolutely beautiful. Not so much a fan of the yuccas, especially right on the pavement here. It's a bit dangerous. I have to keep hacking bits off them by the look of it. The phoenix palms are amazing. Afternoon. So we've had a pretty successful morning. The boys have taken, I think, 6 dumpy sacks of green waste to the tip at Hove. So this tree gone. It's enormous and killing the lawn and shading out the neighbour's garden and casting shade in this one as well. So that's gone. It wasn't beneficial. It was just a conifer and it started dying anyway. And while we were here, we also did the front hedge. So that's trimmed. It's Forsythia, so it'll grow back. We need to do the top. We're going to reduce the top to about 6 foot on the pavement side, which will be about 5 foot from the other side, from the driveway side. So we're going to reduce the top at some point, and then also reduce the thickness this way too. You see how thick it is that way? So we're going to reduce that to about there. So take quite a lot off on the inside, and then bring the top down as well. But that's for another day, because we're running out of space, and the tip's only open for a certain amount of time on Saturdays. But that's not too bad. Didn't get to the panels that I wanted to do on his allotment because I got my measurements mucked up. I needed 6, and I cut 3 of them at the right size, and then the other 3, for some reason, out of a different sheet, I cut them too long so they wouldn't fit in the car. But to be fair, we wouldn't have got to them this weekend anyway. There's other stuff to do, so and we're going to go visit an archaeological dig tomorrow up at Worthing. So that's most of the day gone tomorrow. But yeah, not bad. Craig's got a little pile now to get rid of there. Conifer, which he'll snip up and just put in his green bin. And then over the next couple of weekends, we'll come up and sort out the front hedge, do the same, get the rubbish to the tip. The boys seem quite happy taking a bag at a time in the back of the car. So anyway, I don't know what we're doing for the rest of the day. Probably run down to the allotment, I think, and have a look down there, see what's going on. Maybe go and look at an area where there was a really nice Mediterranean style Roman villa. Unfortunately, it was built over. But apparently you can still see the parch marks when it's been warm in the lawn of the church. So we might just wander down there and have a look. And there's a pub there called the Romans, so I think it would be rude not to go in there for a pint. So maybe that's an afternoon trip. We just come by Southwark to see if, or Southwick, I'm not sure how they pronounce it here, to see if we could see any parch marks in the grass. There are some, but the ones we wanted to see are behind that building in the back garden of the church, which we can't get to. It's an absolute travesty that this was allowed to be built over a quite substantial Roman villa, and not one in the Romano-British style either. It's very much in the Mediterranean style, so but here's a display board. What's annoying is, while the drawing's lovely, it's orientated around the wrong way. So it's orientated completely opposite way to the plan. So this entrance hall here, this entrance tower, it's actually that one, and the apse that's here and the bathhouse are here and here. So this bathhouse complex is sitting under this fence and these trees in this back garden and partially under the road. And there's a whole wing of the building that sits underneath the road here, and then the majority of it just spills off under the church. But we noticed, we came down to see if there were any parch marks, and we think we can see them. I have faith when you know there's something there. Nothing really survives here, this is quite weedy, so we think there's something there. This should be where that entrance tower is, under this paving. It'd be nice if it was marked out, but we're pretty convinced we've got a line of a wall there. Actually, it shows it really nicely on the camera, coming through there. So we've got a line of a wall there, and then another line of a wall coming through here. And then there's a huge wing that sits, the east wing that sits underneath this building and goes onto the bungalow next door as well. And quite a lot in the back garden here of the church, but we can't get to it to see it. But I'm told it shows up well as parch marks in the back garden there too. It'd be nice if this junction was ever redeveloped or repaved, if the council were to mark the villa out in the road, it would be lovely. Anyway, there's the boys. There we go. I say knock down the church and let's have the Roman villa back, please.